The ancient port city of Asshai is located in the far southeast of Essos, where the Ash River meets the Jade Sea. Asshai sits on the southernmost edge of a mountainous peninsula known as the Shadowlands. Thus, the city is often called Asshai by the Shadow. To go to Asshai can be described as to pause beneath the shadow. What exactly is casting the shadow is not known, nor is the exact nature of the shadow. Ghost grass grows throughout the Shadowlands, being a native plant. It is an invasive plant that overwhelms other grass. It is not edible and is taller than a human on horseback and has stalks as pale as mill glass. The Dothraki believe that ghost grass glows with the spirits of the damned and will one day cover the entire world, and that is how the world will end. The Ash is a river which flows from the mountains of the Morn through the Shadowlands to the Jade Sea and the Saffron Straits. City of Asshai sprawls for leagues on both sides at the river's mouth. Much of the Ash's course in the Shadowlands is through a valley so narrow that the water is perpetually in shadow. The corpse city of Stygai is located along the Ash in the heart of the shadow, where two tributaries join. During daytime, the ash is black in color, but at night it glimmers with a pale green color, similar to ghost grass. Fish in the ash are blind and deformed, and traders thus bring food and fresh water to Asshai. If not for the food brought in from across the sea, the Asshai would have starved long ago. The origins of Asshai are lost in history. Even the Asshai do not claim to know who built it, stating only a city stood there since the world began, and will stand there until it ends. City's great walls allegedly could contain Volantis, Karf, King's Landing, and Old Town combined. The population of Asshai, however, is no more than that of a good-sized market town. By night, only one building in 10 shows a light. The entire city is built of black stone, and some say as well that this stone itself has an unpleasant feel to it, that it seems at times as if the light is being sunk into its blackness. Asshai has been a thriving port for centuries. It is known that before the Century of Blood, merchants from the kingdom of Sarnor traded at Asshai. It is still a popular trading destination for ships, as a part of the traders' circle in the Jade Sea. Trading ships from Westeros and the Free Cities, bound for Asshai, go east through the Summer Sea and the Jade Sea, which are connected by the straits at Karf, the Jade Gates. Asshai exports goods such as amber, gold, gems, and dragonglass, though some say that the gold of the Shadowlands is as unhealthy as the fruits that grow there. The city is usually traveled to by ship, but it can also be reached overland by caravans, as it is known that caravans from Asshai traverse the Bone Mountains to reach Vaes Dofrak. Aside from traders, few from Westeros visit Asshai. The famous Westerosi scribe and traveler Lamas Longstrider never visited Asshai, though he apparently heard from merchants in Yeti who did trade with Asshai that the vast gold of Casterly Rock was famous even there. There are no animals in the Asshai, as animals brought into the city soon die because of local food and water. Only fools and shadowbinders are daring to eat the flesh of the fish caught in the Ash River and drink local water. A shadowbinder is a practitioner of magic capable of manipulating shadows to do their will. Of the many magic users who find sanctuary in Asshai, the shadowbinders are the most respected and feared. There is a belief that shadowbinding is native to Asshai. Quaif, also known as Quaif of the Shadow, is a shadowbinder from Asshai. It is rumored that wizards, alchemists, warlocks, moonsingers, necromancers, priests, pyromancers, aeromancers, and blood mages, nightwalkers, shape-changers, worshippers of the Black Goat, the Lion of Night, and the Pale Child, as well as torturers, inquisitors, poisoners, godswives, all sorts of practitioners of the higher mysteries. They are all welcome in Asshai by the Shadow, where no knowledge or practice is forbidden. As the Asshai are well versed in witchcraft and wizardry, they have a language of their own, used in their spells. Miri Mazdur, who studied in Asshai, sings in a foreign tongue, her voice described as shrill and ululating. Furthermore, Melisandre has been noted to pray to Lore once in the speech of Asshai. Asshai and its few people have an ominous reputation in other lands. Asshai are described as having a dark and solemn appearance. The Dothraki believe that they are spawn of shadows and hold them in contempt and fear. There are no children in Asshai, and all who dwell there wear masks or veils, and often walk alone or ride in palanquins of ebony and iron, hidden behind dark curtains and carried upon the backs of slaves. Only the Shadowbinders of Asshai dare to travel upriver, and even they fear to tread before the doors of the Stygai, the Corpse City, also known as the City of the Night. It lies on the Ash River in the Vale of Shadows, a river valley northeast of Asshai. Twisted creatures such as demons and dragons are said to live in its vicinity. Little is known of Stygai except that it only sees the light of the sun for a brief period of time each day, around noon. Asshai holds a significant amount of arcane knowledge. Ancient tales from Asshai claim that dragons first originated in the shadow and were first tamed by a people so ancient they had no name. Ancient texts contain an information about Dawn Age and even Azor Ahai and the Long Night. Darkness lay over the world, and the hero Azor Ahai was chosen to fight against it. To fight the darkness, Azor Ahai needed to forge a hero's sword. He labored for 30 days and 30 nights until it was done. However, when he went to temper it in water, the sword broke. He was not one to give up easily, so he started over. The second time he took 50 days and 50 nights to make the sword, even better than the first. To temper it this time, he captured a lion and drove the sword into its heart, but once more the steel shattered. The third time, with a heavy heart, for he knew beforehand what he must do to finish the blade, he worked 100 days and nights until it was finished. This time he called for his wife, Nisa, and asked her to bare her breast. He drove his sword into her living heart, her soul combining with the steel of the sword, creating Lightbringer, the red sword of heroes, while her cry of anguish and ecstasy left a crack across the face of the moon. When the hero thrust the blade through a monster, the creature burst into flame. It is unknown if Azor Ahai is connected with the legend of the last hero, who lived during the Long Night and helped to defeat the others. But hero with the sword Lightbringer, the one who defeated the darkness, is mentioned in many cultures and goes by many names, like Yintar, Nefarian, Harkoon the hero, and Eldritch Shadow Chaser. According to prophecy in ancient books of Asshai from over 5,000 years ago, Azor Ahai is to be reborn again as a champion sent by Lor, Lord of Light. This will occur after a long summer when an evil called darkness descends upon the world. It is said that wielding sword Lightbringer once again, Azor Ahai will stand against the others, and if he fails, the world fails with him. The Shadow Men are the people settled in the Shadowlands. Shadow Men are known for covering their bodies in tattoos and wearing red-lacquered wooden masks. Throughout history, some Shadow Men have engaged in piracy and reaving. It is known that the Maroon Emperors of Iti kept their court in Jinki to better guard the borders of the Empire from reavers from the Shadowlands. However uncomfortable Asshai may be, ships and caravans come nonetheless, for gold and gems and for other treasures, for certain things spoken of only in private, the ones that cannot be found anywhere else save in the black bazaars of Asshai. To the south of Asshai and the Shadowlands in Essos lies Ultos, a landmass which may or may not be another continent. Almost nothing is known about Ultos other than its location and that it is covered in dense jungle. The island of Ulos is located in the straits between Ultos and Essos. It is a mountainous isle located in the Saffron Straits, on which an unnamed ruined settlement is located slightly inland from the northern shore. The Manticore Isles are a group of 7 small islands in the eastern Jade Sea, off the southern coast of Essos. The islands are named after the manticores, venomous insects that are said to be populous there. Depictions of manticores are relatively common in Valyrian statuary and other statuary of Essos. Manticores make a hissing sound and can fold up into the shape of a scarab. Their poisonous sting is fatal to humans, with venom that kills the instant it reaches the heart. Living specimens of manticores are traded throughout Essos and can be found in market stalls at Waste of Rock, as well as the menagerie of the palace of the Sea Lord of Bravos. In Westeros, manticores are sometimes believed to be mythical. Qyburn claims that the poison Oberyn Martell coated his spear with and used against Gregor Clegane was manticore venom, but thickened somehow, possibly with sorcery. Instead of killing instantly when it reaches the heart, the modified venom leaves Clegane to die slowly and in extreme agony. There are also many strange places north of the Shadowlands, yet little is known about them. Carcosa is a legendary city ruled by a sorcerer lord, claiming to be the 69th Yellow Emperor of ET. The city of the Winged Man is located on the northwestern shore of the Hidden Sea. The city's inhabitants are said to have leather wings and to be able to fly like eagles. The cities of the Bloodless Men, if travelers are to be believed, are inhabited by people as pale as the dead. Then again others claim the inhabitants are corpses who have been drained of blood and returned to life through dark rites. The Dry Deep is a deep canyon. Just north of it there is a bone town that may be named after its trade in strange, aged bones found in the Dry Deep. It is also told that the town is made entirely of bones. The land of the Shrikes is said to be a dangerous place populated by shrieking monsters, the Shrikes, a race of half-human venomous creatures that are said to have green-scaled skin. Some of the maesters wonder if they are truly lizard men, or just men clad in the skins of lizards, or they are no more than fables comparing them to the Grumpkins and Snogs of Westerosi tales. Whatever the truth, even they supposedly live in terror of the city of Kadaf. It is said that Kadaf is the site of unspeakable rites performed to slake the hunger of mad gods. The inhabitants of Kadaf claim the city is the first and oldest in the world. The Grey Waste is an expansive cold desert. Its inhabitants frequently attack the Five Forts, which separates the wastes from ET. The Cannibal Sands are a pair of small deserts bordering the Grey Waste. The inhabitants of the Cannibal Sands allegedly consume human flesh. Thank you for watching. See ya!